All right, today I've got 8 tips for you on owning a vacation rental here in Branson, Missouri. Coming up. Hey, welcome back to the YouTube channel, you guys. I'm Jason with Greater Nixa Homes, and man, it's been growing like crazy this year. Very thankful for all of you who have already subscribed to the channel. We've gotten almost 100 subscribers. So I'm super stoked, and I would like to just offer a little giveaway for those of you who haven't subscribed. Our book here on vacation rental, which today we're talking about vacation rental in Branson. We've got a list of other videos. If you are new to the channel, haven't checked any of those out, I'll put a link for all of our vacation rental videos right up here in the corner for you. But today, for our 100th subscriber, I want to give away the Myths, Management, and Mastery of Vacation Rental, written by our broker, Jeramie Worley, here at Worley Associates, which is the firm that I work with here in Branson. Some great tips for owning vacation rental, buying vacation rental, his own personal journey through becoming a vacation rental investor. It's going to be super helpful for those of you who are wanting to get started out here and just don't really know where to start. This is specifically for the Branson market. It's going to apply to any market really, but it's going to be very helpful for those who are looking to get started investing in Branson. So I'd like to give this away to our 100 subscribers. So I'll just private message you to get your address, and we'll send that right out to you. All right, so today we're talking about 8 tips that I've got for you on buying or owning a vacation rental here in Branson. So let's talk about it. And so the first tip is going to be identify your demographic and market to them, okay? This is important because a lot of people that I show property to, they're trying to cater to anybody and everybody, or they think that property is not going to be suited for their own personal wants and needs of the property. So we've talked about in other videos, establish if this is going to be for you, your wife, for both of you to vacation in personally, or if this is supposed to be something that is strictly an investment purchase you're not going to be using personally. So if that's the case, then you need to remove all of your own personal tastes out of it. What you think you want out of that property, just remove all of that out when considering what's in the property when you're going through it. And then you just need to find who you want to market that property to. You know, is this going to be for lake people? You know, the location to Table Rock Lake or Bull Shoals Lake or whatever, Taneycomo. If that's important for your guests, then you want to find a property that has a lot of lake amenities, lake access. If you're wanting to cater to somebody who's maybe just looking for a complete unplugged getaway, then maybe being right into town is not going to be the best location for you. A lot of people scoff at properties that are 20, 30 minutes from Branson. They're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Are these going to book up? Well, if you're going to market it to people who are looking for a getaway out of all of the hustle and bustle of Branson, then yes, absolutely. But it's going to be who you market that property to, and knowing who your ideal customer base is going to be. It's going to be key to your success on that vacation rental. Okay, so that's my first tip. Identify your demographic, who you're going to market it to, and go after them. All right, so tip number 2 is don't break the bank on decor and other, furnishings for the place. You don't have to spend $20,000 on furnishings to make it amazing. Dollar Tree could probably be your best friend, actually, when it comes to a lot of the things that are going to be inside your vacation rental. I know that sounds crazy, but you don't have to spend a ton of money on furnishings from like a high-end store or anything, Bed Bath & Beyond or At Home, any of these other major stores that have, obviously lavish furniture, lavish decor, making it feel luxury, unless that's the kind of the theme that you're going for there. But you can really supply a lot of great value to guests and still get the same amount of money per night and without having to break the bank. So things like, candles for your guests, you can get some really nice candles at the Dollar Tree store. Things like bathroom organizers, you can get really cheap at Dollar Tree. Dishware and cutlery. This is a big one because, as far as like the dishes go, you don't need to have a lot of really expensive plateware, kitchenware utensils. You can get some that look really nice. And the good thing is, the bonus is if a plate goes broken or goes missing, it's only going to cost you $1 to replace, so it's something to think about there. Some other things like picture frames and premium toiletries and things of that matter are going to be great greeting cards that you can put a little something personal for your guests that aren't going to be a huge expense to you. So just some tips there. All right, tip number 3 is try your very best to get those reviews. Can't tell you how important this tip really is to your business. The success of your business is going to thrive on those online reviews. You want those 5-star reviews so that you can organically start showing up at the top of those VRBO and Airbnb listings and be suggested to people when they're typing in Branson, Missouri, 2-bedroom condo, and they hit enter. They haven't selected a date yet, but there's going to be a whole slew of condos and other lodges and things that are going to come up. And a lot of that is based on the algorithms that they've got based on their reviews. So you really got to push hard, have some systems in place to be able to get those reviews as soon as your client leaves. All right, so that's tip number 3. All right, tip number 4 is get channel managers to help manage your guests. This is very important for first-time vacation rental owners. They have these kind of premonitions that I don't think I can be able to manage it myself. I don't have the time, but you'd be surprised at the software that is available to you, the technology that is available right now, because essentially you can run an entire business from an app on your phone, no lie. And people are paying 20, 30, 40, 50% for somebody else to do this for them because they just haven't really looked into what's available to be able to keep this as passive income. When you're deciding if you want to buy a long-term rental versus a short-term rental, a lot of people like the idea of long-term rental because then the tenant's in there and you're really not having to do a whole lot of work, right? And I think that short-term rental is still a lot of actual work that you're going to have to do, even if you're managing it yourself. And that's not always the case. If you get some systems in to be able to sync your calendars over, if you got multiple websites, multiple avenues for people to book, you want to be able to sync all of those calendars together so that you're not double booking. And it shows up when one person books on VRBO, it shows up on your Airbnb calendar, on booking.com and on Expedia and everything else that you've got out there that you're advertising your property on. You've got sites like Hostfully offer great software for you to be able to manage like email marketing. If people have common inquiries, it's good to have those templates already ready to go that explain the common questions that you're going to get from guests when they're booking. If you have all of that already broken down into an email template reply that you can just leave it and forget about it, set it and forget about it, even a text message that you can have that will at least let people know, hey, I've received your info request and I'm going to get back to you. I'm going to call you here in just a few minutes. That way they're not jumping on to the next website and trying to book with somebody else. One other thing it does, it also helps with revenue tracking, which is super important. A lot of people get very flustered when it comes to, the management of the actual business, being able to track how many bookings that you have, how well you're doing. You can have a revenue tracker that's included in that as well. So there's a lot of great tools that are available to you if you do some research and find out what's going to work best for you. So I just want you to know using technology to your advantage is going to be a tremendous asset to your vacation rental business. All right, tip number 5, that's develop a process to screen your guests. In the vacation rental business, there is a risk, of course, of having multiple different types of people through your property at any given time during the year. So asking the right questions, verifying IDs and getting security deposits. And that's the big thing. If people have a security deposit, they're personally invested in that financially, they're less likely to destroy your property. And I know a lot of people have they hear national news stories about these frat parties and things where people just went completely AWOL and destroyed the property. Those are very few and far between. But typically, if you ask the right questions and manage people's expectations up front of what you expect before they book, and also having something there on site to kind of tell them the rules and regulations of the place, being very proactive about that to screen your guests, it's going to be good for you. All right, tip number 6 is know the market rate. Trust yourself and do some due diligence and really study the market rate. And this probably before you even bought the place. Hopefully you looked around in the area to find out what others that are like yours. If you're in a condo area, you'll have a lot of comps, but you need to find out what others are charging. And you're going to have to do that periodically throughout the year to kind of adjust your rates while there's big events in town. If we've got a big Bass Pro tournament coming into Branson and there's all these people that draws in a huge amount of people, college basketball tournaments, cheerleading competitions, choir competitions, gospel meets, and all kinds of things that really will affect the nightly rate. Obviously, everybody's aware of like the national holidays, but you're going to have to be able to ebb and flow with your rates. You don't want to be leaving money on the table if you're the only guy sitting there at $79 a night and everybody else is charging $129. Well, yeah, your property is going to get booked up, no problem, but you probably left $40, $50 on the table per night for that time. So you just got to kind of know and watch the market and what everybody else is doing and price accordingly. All right, so tip number 7 is first impressions still matter even with vacation rentals. Curb appeal is really what we're talking about here. When people first pull up to the property, if fresh paint, fresh flowers, good landscaping outside, some decorative decor, if you have a front porch, really make it warm and welcoming and inviting for your guests so that when they walk up and they have that wow factor, that is the very first impression they're going to have. And they're going to probably mention their first impression of it on your review. So keep that in mind. During the winter months, you want to make sure that if there's snow, ice, that you want to have all your sidewalks and walkways shoveled, de-iced for them. If it's in, the summertime, if you've got dead plants, you want to remove those, keep your plants watered, looking good. Also, your guests may be checking in at night, so it's a good idea to make sure that you've got plenty of lighting that's going to light the entryway to your house on the exterior from where they have parked. So keep that in mind. All right, tip number 8. Very simple. Research your HOA, your bylaws, your covenants and restrictions, your county guidelines for vacation rental properties. A lot of people that have vacation rental properties that are operating and have been operating kind of under the radar. They don't have a permit, or they don't have zoning approval. So really some of this due diligence, most of it needs to be done before you close on the property. You've got time to figure all of that out, but just kind of be aware of what's going on. If you're in a condo, you want to check with the COA, see if there's any assessments up and coming, making sure that there's no other hidden agendas with homeowners association that's going to affect you as a vacation rental owner. If they're going to be voting to take away amenities from you in the near future, that's going to affect your bottom line and affect your nightly rate. So be aware of all of your county guidelines, your local city municipality guidelines as well. All right. That's a lot to go into, but I feel like it was important to just cover some of the most important tips to have a successful vacation rental here in Branson. This is my specialty. I've got a lot of info that I can provide for you guys. We've covered a lot of it already in videos, so I'll leave a link for it right up here at the top. If you want to go check out those videos, I'll put a link down in the description, as well to my blog on everything that you need to know about owning a vacation rental here in Branson. And again, if you haven't hit that subscribe button, go ahead and do that right now. The 100th subscriber is going to get a free copy of Jeramie Worley, our broker's book on mismanagement and mastery of vacation rental. I think that will be a tremendous value to you. I'll send that out to you free of charge. So, and if you're not the 100th subscriber, heck, if you want a copy of this anyway, just leave me a comment down below, or you can message me, send me a text message. All my contact information is down in the description. I'll be happy to send you a copy. And then let's get together for coffee and talk about getting you into a vacation rental here. All right. All right, guys, I'm Jason with Greater Nixa Homes, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.